Hi, YouTube. I hope you're all doing well. I'm doing okay, just chilling. I this morning ran across what I had heard before, and I'm not too happy for the women. I'm happy for the women, but not happy about what's being done to them. In Denmark, for instance, all the women have been drafted into the war because they think it's going to be World War III, and they're um, being prepared to go to war. That's disgusting. And if some of them have children, or they don't care. And I'm telling you, the battlements of a woman's spirit, and then carrying on as some kind of matriarch in a family situation, is a dangerous thing to be messing with. Women are not meant to battle men like that. Men aren't meant to battle men like that, let alone the women. And that's my topic of today, is the just a minute, the disempowering of the matriarch in the family through the false movement of empowering women. They're saying they're empowering them, but yet they have somebody with the XY chromosomes telling XX that they can do their job better because they pretend. Now, what kind of dangers are real women in from these control freaks pretending to be women? And it is a pretense. There's nothing more they can do about it. It's not even as far, I won't say even a mental illness. No, they're evil. And you better believe yourself, or believe me. They are. There's no in between. There could be some that maybe well, yeah, they're totally unstable. There's no doubt about that. But don't fool yourself one moment that these men think they are actually a woman. They still don't bleed, they still don't give birth, and they never will. Our hormones, our chromosomes, our brains, our hearts, our bodies, everything about us from the inside out is different than a man. The size of our organs, the thickness of our bones or our muscles, those types of things. Our skin is literally 3 layers thinner, at least, than the average man. It's a fact. So I suppose if you go out to a nightclub and you think something looks good till it opens its mouth, but then you might want to hold its hand for a minute and see if it feels soft, or if there's something going on there. It might feel a little thicker skin than your woman, you know. And oh, this thing that won the Miss Universe contest, being a man, uh, has like a baritone bass voice when he's talking. And I won't use their pronouns. I will never call a man a woman. No matter how he dresses, it's still a man. It's a man trying to take away what is truly a woman on this planet and make it more acceptable for the beast to control all of mankind, because real men are rarely standing up on behalf of the women. Rarely, because I don't think they really see what's going on. But when it's just you and Satan, you're going to realize what happened. Oh my God, we just killed the woman. Whoa. Oops. because every man's out for themselves. The ones that are supposed to be working on Christ's behalf, every one of them have failed. Every single one of them have failed. How is the representation of the Father supposed to rise in mankind if he's not the representation? Yeah, it's going to rise up in a tutu like a ballerina. That'd be cute. I don't think so. So, yeah, my concerns are and have been always for these women that even in our last centuries have battled in place of a man. I mean, if nobody's protecting you, you end up fighting for yourself, like I'm doing right now. I'm fighting for the ladies, not the skanks and the queers. And when I mean queer as of off the normal path. You know, that's queer. There's no other word for it. So I'll just say, you know, whatever pronoun they want to use doesn't mean I'm going to use that. And as I've said it over and over and over again, but this isn't the case. As long as they left the children out of it, I don't have an issue. But they don't, and they haven't. In fact, they're stepping up their game. So, yeah, it's more than a concern now, people. It's a reality of what they're doing in the public eye. And like some of us are very aware of what that is, you know. If they don't want to be close to our Father, and if they want to pretend that they're gonna, like, say, if I were God, if I were God, and you walked into my house and you were a man dressed like a woman, well, I don't even have to be God to tell you this. Go out and put your heavy duty clothes on, dude, because you're not going to be dancing. There's work to be done. Or get the hell out. And I do mean hell. And this is coming from a woman to all those men that think they're XX and not XY. So, or think they want to pretend that, you know? Yeah. It has nothing to do really with, well, you know, all the chemicals in the atmosphere and the food people eat, and yeah, that's a very small portion of the spiritual war going on. Typically, people are born to who they are and who they serve. That's in their blood. Like I passed around, this little girl was, little white girl was just breaking it down, dancing to some what sounded like Swahili drum beat, and she was doing a Swahili dance. She sort of put in some Latino, like a oh, you know, like a Latin dance. She put in like a little bit of one of those, and then she started doing like the Running Man and a little bit of hip hop too. But her beat was just right. Just, you know, I have that on my Facebook. She's cute. I asked Doug, hey, does it remind you of anybody? LOL. Because that'd be something I'd do in my kitchen and just all of a sudden do something goofy like that, you know. And he wrote, it's in the blood, eh? Yeah, it is. What a character. She was making everybody laugh. You could hear, especially like maybe hear her parents, or I don't know. I think it was her dad came out in the end and started dancing with her and twirled her sometimes. And did some really nice swing movements, and yeah, it was pretty righteous, really cool. But yeah, people were laughing. She was like picking up their spirits, just being a clown. It was cool. So that's kind of a bright spot in my day. Another bright spot I had was my oldest granddaughter was making buttons out of avocado seed. She took the avocado seed and sliced it and then poked holes in it and baked it and painted it and made buttons. And the cool thing is, 2 days ago, I was thinking about some of the old fashioned buttons that people made on this planet when they first started like tailoring their clothes. And one of them, well, in I can't say ancient times because they had some remarkable tailored outfits, but in the early Americas, we had these buttons made, and maybe another. Yeah, well, yeah, I know for a fact. And I'm kind of a button aficionado. I have a button collection that is really unique, like abalone ones and seashells. But okay, well, anyway, they used to take like a stick, about the size of a filter here, about from there to there, and then they'd make a loop and you just stuck the stick through the loop and there was your button tied, you know well, a hole through the stick. You put a hole through the stick and then you secure your button to your cloth, and the other side has the loop that you formed, and then you can fasten them together by putting that part through there. And you've probably seen them. You know what I mean. But different ways of making things fasten together, besides just tying it or sewing it or laces or different things that they do, or still do. I have one dress that has pearls all the way down the front. Um, it buttons all the way down, and the back laces up. So it's pretty. It's a mid-length dress with short sleeves and not too low, and nothing exposed in the back. It has cloth behind it, and it goes down midway. So, and it has a skirt that just is pretty. So, yeah. I think so far, unless I like some of the ones I'm getting better, but that's like my favorite dress. I love it. So, yeah, I saw it one time. I was at work and I wanted it and I could not afford it. I was bummed, but I went about my day. But I'd look at it, I'd go buy it because I worked in a department store called Pomida, and they had some pretty nice quality clothes. And so I kind of just didn't think about it again. And then one day I come in early and I saw it was marked down. And I know for sure the other ladies that worked in that department, that part of the store, knew I wanted that dress and it was just my size. It's like, oh, yeah, so beautiful. Anyway. Oh, yeah, and they marked it down half price, which was really cool because it was $80, and way back then that was pretty much for a dress. So yeah, I'm enjoying my low light setting. Yeah, I'll have another cigarette with you and see what else comes to my mind. I did share over in my community. If you click on the community tab there, you might see or you might have seen. I put through some information about the Book of Mormon and the Mormon Church and their connection with the Masons. That's who they are. And they're all of a certain sector of the Hebrew dialect peoples. So I don't probably have to tell you any more than that. Rhymes with screwed. Oh, so anyway, or screw. So yeah, pretty disgusting that a man would demean a woman to think that he is that beauty that God made. That's disgusting. Men are beautiful in their own rights, the way they are. If they don't think so, well, then maybe they don't need to be alive. I'm serious. The reason I started smiling was because I started singing in my head, born, born, born to be alive. Born to be alive. Born to be alive. Who is that? And they do the YMCA too. Just happen to be gay men, not dressed up like women though. God, who were those? All the village people. That's who they were. That's right, as in like Greenwich Village, the one of the weirdest places on the planet. So anyway, yeah, well, I'm telling you, what's acceptable here and now is not acceptable with God, and they're trying to pretend that it is. So, and I'm not going to pretend with them. And if you're pretending with them, shame on you for real. You're messing with children. If I could reach out and grab you, it would hurt. It's a fact. If you're thinking like that. I heard people say before, I have healing hands. Yeah, I'll heal you all right. Mm. Pokey in your eye. No, just kidding. Sorry. I'm in one of those moods like that. I'm in a really good mood, but I'm in a combative mood with these men trying to take womanhood and trash it. How dare they do that shit? And you poor men out there, you have to be thinking, what the hell is this shit? Or else you're thinking, wow, more stuff to put my magic wand in, you know? I don't know, whichever you're thinking. Whoever you are, do your own thing. Just keep it away from the children. And they're not. Even I know people have spoke out and they're part of the gay community and they're like, this is just not cool. They agree 100%, especially when it comes to men in drag, you know. And a lot of them, honestly, know that adoption shouldn't be a thing between the same sex. It shouldn't be a thing, period. I'm telling everybody, you know. And I do talk to other adoptees, and we do feel the same way. We went home with strangers, a lot of us, or were abused in those homes or group homes, or, when you don't have your even one parent, one real blood relative that gives a shit about you, you know, that's what it is. You're better off in a group of adults taking care of a bunch of kids than you are alone in some freak's house. You know, even if you have a real brother and sister there, you would have somebody that you would think. I guess I do know some people that, well, when you're born into a family and you're not the way they are, when they're saying and doing lewd things around you and you just can't really get with the program, you're so different, you know. I mean, you still love them, but it's something in you that your stomach just goes, oh, you know. You can't help it. Your stomach tenses when you're repulsed, you know. And yeah, you can learn to control your emotions, but it doesn't make it any more normal, you know. It's still adverse. They're perverts. Stop pretending that it's normal. I'm not calling for any hatred. I'm calling for people to stand up for the kids and put these mofos back in the closet. I'm talking about the drags in front of children. That's not hatred at all. That's keep it adult and leave the children out of it. I'd even go to a drag show if my friend was like not doing it in front of children and I like this person or something, and it'd be like, I'll go see what you do. I'll even throw $1 at you. Bye. You know? I even had a friend, Penelope Kissimmee, um, used to be an exotic dancer until I asked him if he would send me a real picture of himself because, although he looked like a beautiful woman, he still didn't look like a real woman, and I would like to see how God made him. Well, guess who went into his heart? That's right. And he quit doing that. He was mad for a while and he ruminated, but when he came back into this group I'm a part of, he's not the same person he was. He's not Penelope anymore. You know, he's just something his initials from Kissimmee, Florida. Isn't that cool? Good story, right? Not just a story, it really happened. This is a man that realized what he was doing probably online probably wasn't the right thing to do in the public eye. That's what being an adult and being real about what we're going through right now is all about. Boy, I'll tell you what, some of them men, they need a voice coach for real. Because that's one thing if you're a singer and you can do your baritone baits right up to Cateros soprano or whatever. And I'm capable. You might notice my voice is very fluctuant. You know, my scales. I practice singing opera when I was a little kid. In our elementary school, our education was something else. But and these dudes really need a voice coach to stay in character. Ew, little bastards. Boy, it just really probably nothing worse than going home with something and finding out it isn't what you thought it was. Whoa. That could happen to women too. That's a bummer. And the children seeing that on TV, that's hideous. They may not know what they're looking at, But I'm telling you, it's not only to take the woman out of the picture, because Satan destroys everybody like that, but it's to destroy the next generation from knowing who they are. That's the agenda. And if you're a part of that, if you're ignoring that, it's not do what they'll will. That's what the hell's been going on is free will. It's like time to straighten this world up. That's what adults and parents do. You don't ignore the no matter what anybody says in this world or what the media is trying to push or what these soft soaped half baked Christians want to say, love everybody. It is not like that. You don't let you have your little boy in a room and let a man dressed up like a woman go tuck your baby into bed? You might say, well, if I knew this person, well, so what do you know of this person just based on what I just said? There you go. It's called common sense and logic, and not following the crowd. And it's a really important thing. It's the most important thing on this planet right now. What's happening to the women and children, and where are the men standing up in behalf of that? I'll share a JP Reacts I ran across after I was ruminating on them poor Danish women being drafted. Then I ran across JP's with I had heard about that Mr. Miss Universe, and he calls women we men. With his accent, it sounds like we men. Yeah, you men. Yeah, I'm going to share that with you. It's like a 6-minute video if you want to click on it. I think sometimes with what I'm thinking and what God puts in place of in my life for that day with that correlation sometimes goes well. And it was just perfect timing, like usual, in God fashion. You know. Oh yeah, and sharing about what the Mormons believe that they'll become gods or goddesses, abiding by the Mormon church, which is Masonic. The Mormon temple in Utah is built on an old Masonic temple foundation, a temple of Ra, the sun god Ra, who is the representation of the Baphomet. So anyway, this mixture of gender thing has people believing that they will be creating their own planets in this universe, which a universe isn't what it is. It's not una two. It's no. It's one whole situation for them. But anyway, back to the point, and then I have something on that too if I don't get cut off. But they believe that they'll not only become gods and goddesses, but like the gods will have like so many, like 99 wives or whatever, you know. Now, if you don't just have one wife that you love, you don't need one or two. You don't need any of them. That's the way God rolls with people. It's called monogamous. So, okay, and wait. There was something else I was gonna say on that. I don't think it was no, not about the Mormons. maybe it was. I don't know if it comes to me. But yeah, I I know a lot about it. Not only did I read the Book of Mormons in my studies, but I have an ex sister in law whose husband was working in New York as a steel worker, making good money. When he was gone, she got involved with the Mormon church, and they convinced her to get rid of him because he wouldn't convert. So she went to become a part of another man's family, like one of his wives, with her children, their children. She took them, and you can't fight their. It's all a part of the same cabal. They put my name and the names of my children in their book, and I demanded them to take me out of there and my offsprings, and they refused to do that. I have grievances with these Masons, and being called a Mason makes me really want to grab the throat of the person that said that about me. I may not want to squeeze its Adam's apple or grab it and twist that thing, but I might think about it like I just did, you know, or just poke it in its Adam's apple. That would hurt, believe me. Or get really close and pretend you're all cuddly and then grab that thing and crush it. Yeah, I know that doesn't sound so lovey dovey, does it? Well, I'm not feeling so lovey dovey towards these people, you know? Well, I'm going to get this uploaded. I wanted to make you aware of this wee man, wee man, wee man thing, pretending to be a woman, and what's actually happening to the family unit because of these freaks and the people that are helping them. Don't be one of them. Don't do it. It's not going to get you anywhere. It's following the crowd for real. Be a trailblazer or don't be at all. To be or not to be, that is the question. All right, everybody. Peace and love from Pine City, Minnesota, USA. Have a really good night or day wherever you're at.